A new storm is brewing over Europe, not from the skies, but from the factories of war. The United Kingdom and Turkey have just signed an $11 billion defense deal to deliver 20 Eurofighter Typhoon jets to Ankara, a move that is already sending shockwaves through NATO, Moscow, and even Washington. For decades, Turkey's military relationship with the West has been complicated. It's a NATO member, yet often acts independently, sometimes even against NATO's interests. But this deal, announced in London, marks something deeper, a political realignment, one that might reshape the future of Europe's defense architecture. Let's break down what this really means, politically, militarily, and economically. Part 1. The deal that changed everything. The Eurofighter Typhoon is not just any fighter jet. It's one of Europe's most advanced multi-role aircraft, jointly built by the UK, Germany, Italy, and Spain. It's designed for dominance in air combat, combining speed, stealth, and precision strike capability. By acquiring 20 Typhoons, Turkey isn't just expanding its air force. It's buying influence inside Europe's defense network. This deal effectively ties Turkish military logistics, maintenance, and intelligence to Western systems for decades to come. But here's where it gets interesting. The deal comes at a time when Turkey's relationship with the United States is still tense, especially after Ankara bought Russia's S-400 air defense system. That purchase got Turkey expelled from the F-35 program. Now, this Typhoon deal may be its way back into the Western fold, but on its own terms. Part 2. Political chess inside NATO. For NATO, this is a double-edged sword. On one hand, Turkey remains an indispensable member, controlling the alliance's southeastern flank and serving as a bridge between Europe and the Middle East. On the other, Ankara's assertive foreign policy, from Syria to Libya to the Black Sea, often clashes with NATO's Western core. By selling Typhoons, Britain is not only boosting its defense industry, but also reinforcing Turkey's role as a regional counterweight to Russia. Yet Germany and France reportedly oppose the sale, fearing it could escalate regional tensions or embolden Turkey's unilateral military actions. In essence, the Eurofighter deal has exposed a quiet division inside NATO between those who want Turkey closer and those who want to keep it at arm's length. Part 3. Economic and strategic gains. From an economic standpoint, this deal is a major win for London. After Brexit, the UK has been seeking stronger bilateral defense ties, and this $11 billion agreement represents one of its biggest post-Brexit successes. It strengthens its defense sector, secures thousands of jobs, and projects London's influence across Europe and the Middle East. For Turkey, it's about independence and prestige. The Turkish government has been investing heavily in its domestic defense industry, from drones to tanks, but advanced jet technology still requires Western collaboration. By securing the Typhoons, Ankara ensures that it won't be left behind in the race for air superiority. Part 4. The global dimension. While this deal looks like a NATO success story on the surface, global players like Russia and China see it differently. For Moscow, the message is clear. Turkey may have flirted with the East, but it's still anchored in the Western military orbit. For Beijing, it's a reminder that Europe is not as fragmented as it looks, that the Western alliance can still act in unison when it needs to. At the same time, this move adds pressure to the US, which has been trying to balance its relations with Ankara while focusing on the Indo-Pacific. Washington may quietly welcome this deal. It reasserts NATO unity without the US having to spend a cent. Part 5. The future of air power in Europe. This is not just about Turkey or the UK. It's about who will dominate Europe's skies in the next 2 decades. France is pushing its own Rafale jets, Germany is aligning with the Future Combat Air System (FCAS), and now the UK is betting big on partnerships like this to keep its aerospace industry alive. The Typhoon deal positions London as a strategic hub between Europe's technology and Turkey's geography, the perfect formula for influence. Part 6. What comes next? But the question remains, will this deal make Europe safer or more divided? If history is any guide, power shifts like these rarely come without consequences. The Typhoons may strengthen NATO's capabilities, but they also fuel regional rivalries, especially with Greece, which has had a long-standing airspace dispute with Turkey. And as defense budgets rise and alliances shift, Europe's skies are becoming crowded, not just with aircraft, but with ambition, distrust, and political maneuvering. In the end, This deal is more than a business contract. It's a statement that Turkey is back, the UK is reasserting its power, and NATO's future is being rewritten not in Washington or Brussels, but in the hands of two nations determined to shape their own destiny.